Welcome back to all our friends and loyal listeners to Three Old Friends, The Music Never Ends, our weekly playlist and podcast that we put together with myself, David, and my friends, Mike and Jose. This is installment number 31 of our thing. We've been doing this about a year and a half now, and we love putting together music. We love listening to music. And then we get together and we talk about the music and everything. Well, this time it was kind of seasonal, like we've done for some of the ones recently. We've done Halloween, we've done baseball, we've done some of those. But we're heading into the holiday season, and Thanksgiving is coming up next week. So we thought we better roll out a Thanksgiving playlist. And so that's what we did this time. I hope you enjoy the music, and I hope you enjoy the commentary. We'll jump right into it. I had the pleasure of starting it off, and I started off with a song that I wasn't familiar with, but as we do these things, we research a little bit, we search for songs. That's the beauty of it. We get to we learn more about some new songs, but we also turn each other on to those songs. So this song was a song called the Thanksgiving Song by a group. I think they're kind of more of like an a cappella group called Home Free, but it was originally a song by somebody named Ben Rector. And we'll start with that song and talk a little bit about it. To me, this song just brings home all of the traditions of coming home for the holidays, having family together. They talk about the kids' table that's there, watching football, all the things that go along with Thanksgiving. And to me, it was a good way to start the playlist. But for me, Thanksgiving has always been a great occasion and a great time. I love getting together with family, and certainly love the food and all the things that go with it. But it was way cool that there was a song that kind of captured how I feel about Thanksgiving. Again, it's usually all about family and things we're thankful for, getting together and the sad part for me at this point is that my mom and dad have passed on, and so it's a little bit of a different Thanksgiving now. Now that I'm the head of at least my family, now I have to get my children and grandchildren to come back for Thanksgiving, and sometimes that can be a challenge with the different places they live. This coming year, we're only going to have a few of them here. About 4 of my kids will be here, and the others, for various reasons, can't make it. So anyway, that's my what I started off with. What do you guys think of the lead-in song?
Yeah, I liked it. It reminded me, I had to check because you had another a cappella group, and Pentatonics.
Yeah.
That was it was a Christmas song, but it was in our follow-up 45, recapping stuff, and it reminded me of that a lot. But the song itself, it's really nice. It's kind of, it's talking about the elements of Thanksgiving as far as what a lot of people maybe think, the surface stuff, like eating and football and all that, but it's talking about also the thankfulness, which is I think where we're really going with this playlist, as you'll see, plus a little of the other stuff too, of course. But I did just one real quick point. I put on I'm doing a YouTube video playlist of all the songs. And their song, just check out the video for it. It is really sweet. You'll get
Cool.
misty-eyed watching it.
I haven't seen the video. That would be cool to watch.
It's basically people holding up signs of things they're thankful for, and yeah, so.
Well, yeah, that's how I view this song. Straight out of Hallmark, right? Like it'd be a perfect. Someone said, write a Thanksgiving song that's captures the essence of Thanksgiving. And this would be that song, so to speak. And it's a really good song, and it's about Thanksgiving. I don't know, Thanksgiving. Full disclosure, people who know me know this, that holidays aren't the greatest thing in the world for me. Holidays are holidays. Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. Actually, we're going to see the Cowboys play on Thanksgiving. So there's another Thanksgiving tradition. Why did someone sing a song about that? I'm just kidding. But Thanksgiving, and of course we will see family up there. See my nephew, and then my mom's first great grandkid. So, but yeah, and the song itself, and Thanksgiving is what it is, and so, but these are the songs that remind you that. I don't know if when we talked about initially doing this playlist, it was about, well, be thankful for stuff, and then be Thanksgiving, and so then we kind of found a mishmash there of stuff, and I think it blended really well, especially with the beginning of it. And this one is a perfect song to really kick it off, because that's how people look at Thanksgiving, for sure. And we'll see how other people look at Thanksgiving.
Well, then I followed up with I've Got Plenty to Be Thankful For by Bing Crosby, out of the movie Holiday Inn. I think this was actually, I tried to find a video of this song, but I don't think he actually sings it in the movie. I found a YouTube video where he's listening to a record of himself singing it. So anyway, Holiday Inn, there's a lot of well-known songs come out of that. It's basically, it doesn't have to be, it's not necessarily a Thanksgiving song, but it's like, I don't need a yacht. I don't need all these things because I have what I need. And, that's the other stuff is great and the food and all that. But this is really what it really all comes down to for me at this age. When I was a kid, I felt differently. But at this age, yeah, it's like, I'm not going to have all those things. I don't care, I guess, maybe a little, but I really, care about some of the things that we're going to have, again, come up in the playlist that I am very thankful for.
I'm thankful for Bing Crosby, man. I didn't know, when I hear him, it's always the Christmas time, right? All the Christmas classics and the things that he's done. And again, I don't think I was familiar with this tune, but now this is going to become a staple for my Thanksgiving time of year because it's just got a cool old vibe to it. You got the crooner doing all of I got plenty to be thankful for. You love that. I love that. Actually, towards the end too, they come in with the horns and all the stuff. This could have gone on our Funky Good Times playlist for sure because it had that similar kind of thing. But no, you're right. It hits on all the themes of what we're thankful for, and it's not all the materialistic things. It's just having, what does he say? And there's something about sweet lips to kiss or something, or all of that. So yeah, I liked it. I digged it.
Right. It's what you expect from Bing Crosby, and like Dave said, usually he's associated with Christmas, but obviously this is one of those songs I'm sure he put out and was pretty popular back then. So, and covers the essentials, right? And what you're supposed to be thankful for, and so what I find interesting is my song "Be Thankful" by Natalie Cole is just a different version of it 50 years later. A different genre of sounding music, different style, but the same message, the same essential message. Sure, it's funkier. I think that one, but that one might make the Funky Good Times. But the two songs may be decades apart, but they're saying the same thing, and it's what you should be thankful for. You have these things, you should be thankful for what you have and not be thankful for what you don't have. And so I thought all three of those blended well together, but it was one of the reasons I picked mine. And I'm like Dave, I discovered this song. I'm not a Natalie Cole fan. I don't have Natalie Cole albums lying around, but when you find songs like this, it's always it's a great present, to unwrap. So yeah, I thought these all went well.
Yeah, I like that one too, and I agree exactly with what you're saying about just different time. I wasn't much into Natalie Cole, kind of when she was doing her thing. I think I was more interested in her. Well, I just wasn't paying attention. I knew her dad's music, Nat King Cole, but since then I've come to appreciate, her music, and this is a great fun song. I didn't know it either. But yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, I kind of picture her and her dad sitting around, singing and harmonizing, probably at the Thanksgiving Day or Thanksgiving table over the many years because they were such a musical family. I like this tune a lot. It has that for me when if you listen to it, if you don't know enough about some of the artists of that time, you might even think it sounded a lot like Aretha Franklin, which for me it did when I first heard it. And then you get that thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Lord, and it's just, and I just thought it was had a great beat and vibe to it. Be thankful for what you got, and kind of introduce the Lord, like the Almighty and the God and that kind of into it too, and which is always a thing that a lot of people do. Again, around the Thanksgiving time, we give thanks and gratitude um, for our Lord, for our God, and those kind of things. And so that's why I actually came in with the next song. I was trying to think of things that I'm thankful for, family and my wife and kids and other things like that. And um, we hadn't really done a whole lot of spiritual kind of music on our playlist, but this was an opportunity to throw on what I considered kind of a classic song called "Awesome God" by Rich Mullins. And I really didn't know a whole lot about it either, other than years ago when it came out and became popular. It kind of made it onto my playlist, and I would play it a lot of times when I wanted that powerful spiritual upbeat, or that yeah, my God is an awesome God. I'm really powerful. And it's become a really popular, I guess, song. Michael Smith covered it after Rich Mullins, and it became even a little bit more popular. And but it's just a good spiritual song and pumps me up. Um, anyway,
Yeah.
I'm thankful for my God.
Yeah. So, that's, that's a big part of our Thanksgiving too, as we go around the table. Um, Actually, as part of the prayer we do, is each person says something. I think that's a pretty common thing, but, last couple of years have been some challenging years, and that seems to bring out even more things you're thankful for. You really appreciate the the things you have during those times, which aren't so easy. So anyway, yeah, that's a big part of our Thanksgiving too.
Yeah. No, I can see why Dave picked it. I understand fully why he picked it and his faith, and God bless y'all for picking it. No pun intended, I suppose. So, but I can see how motivating it can be and how awe-inspiring. Never heard it before. It's never been on my playlist. I'm sure I'm not in those circles, though. I'm sure they're not on the jam band scene, so I don't think I would have heard it. But still, you're right. You have to, be thankful for certain things in your life, and that's your faith, and you have to go with it. So yeah, I thought it was a really powerful song, and believe me, walking in the mornings and hearing that song, and seeing nature, you can feel the love behind it. So
So yeah, I think I went out of order there. I was supposed to transition into my next song, so
that's okay.
I'll do it next time, do it right. But so I did "Celebrate Me Home" by Kenny Loggins, which is off his first album after he left Loggins and Messina, and it's just one I've heard for years. I think it's usually connected to um, Christmas, because he says the first line, which apparently he didn't initially intend it to be a holiday song. It was kind of a placeholder, but then his producer said, no, you can't take that out. This is the whole song. So yeah, "Celebrate Me Home." And it's about one of the most important things to me, home. And it's in this song, and family, and home may not be there's a home you grew up in, and things change over time, and maybe that home is not there anymore. And there's now the home where you have your family, your own wife and offspring or whatever. And then there's it may be if you're overseas, if you're in a war zone or something, it of course you have your home back home, but those friends, any place you can find home, it's just an incredible thing. You need that. Everybody needs that. And of course, it is about being away from home and trying to get back home, and how important that is. And I get that too. So,
Well, home is a big part of Thanksgiving, and I really like this song. This is a song I've known for a number of years. I didn't know it maybe back in the late '70s, as you mentioned, transitioning from Loggins to Messina. Didn't have his debut album. I think I heard it on a greatest hits album of Kenny Loggins. But when I got that greatest hits album, I kind of fell in love with Kenny Loggins, and it was probably again much later in his career. But this song always hits me in the heart when I hear it, and it's been a number of years since it's come up or I've heard it. So when Mike put it on, we even surprise each other sometimes, because it's like we don't know what they're going to put, what Mike's going to put on, or what Jose's going to put on, and or what they have. We know some of the things, and we've learned more of what they like. But we haven't had a Kenny Loggins song on that I can think of. And so when Mike threw out Kenny Loggins, I'm like, oh, you like this? And that kind of thing. So it's like, this is the first one to make the list. I'll have to dive into some of my other stuff and find some other cool Kenny Loggins stuff to put on our playlist, because I think he's a great artist. I'm very underappreciated, and again, this song here is just beautiful. One thing I didn't know, and I looked up, yes, we do research afterwards, that
Research.
oh no, this one, no, actually, I'll save that for another one. It was a different song, but anyway,
Research
it's
on
just a beautiful song, and it reminds me of home. It reminds me of going home for the holidays. I'll be at my home this year, but it's always nice every time I go back to San Antonio and visit the folks and visit the family. This is a way cool of remembering that type of thing.
Oh, definitely. Coming after Awesome God and then Celebrate two heart wrenching songs that really go well together. And I never heard this song personally, but kind of like the Thanksgiving song, only a little more, not as, I don't know. It's a little more raw, I think, than the Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving song is hallmarky, but this one's kind of, you can sort of identify with it, and so really great songs. I thought when doing this playlist, the first 5 songs, and then here comes mine, but the first 5 songs were all really well together about God, why you could gather together. So, and then so I decided that why you really get together is because of the food. Everyone knows that, they all throw out I'm just kidding. But the food is vital and a vital part of it. And so I found this song again. I think, like Dave said, we discover songs. I don't think I've used any of these artists, maybe Willie Nelson as an accompaniment. Any of these artists, I look for some stuff different, some different stuff. So I found this Stretchy Pants by Carrie Underwood, which is, sorry, I didn't want to play it. And so it's just one of those fun songs. I looked it up. She just decided to do something. She saw the lyrics. She thought it was, funny. She's, so I played it. You can't get it out of your mind. It's one of those silly songs. I'm surprised I don't hear it all the time at Thanksgiving, but maybe I'm not just in that world. I'm sure it's pretty, I heard it's pretty popular. So I threw that guys on you to kind of mix it up a little.
Well, yeah, what I have to say. Well, your song's on here. You really did. You kind of went off in a new direction. It's for for the kind of stuff you play. We all kind of have certain things that we tend to fall back on. It's not a general rule, but this is definitely a new direction, and my hat's off to you. it's kind of inspiring. I need to get out of my shell or out of my box or whatever. And also, a lot of people are thinking what's in this song, but Carrie Underwood and you had the guts to say it. It's like stretchy pants, going for seconds. Yeah, it's a funny song. It is it's an earworm. It is stuck in my head. And yeah, I've been humming it. So who'd have thought?
I like it because it's good sometimes to break up. I wouldn't say the monotony, but break up the playlist sometimes a little bit, and so it fits good here because we were coming into some heavy territory, and then we needed to lighten the mood a little bit. We needed to have some fun, and so that I applaud you for that. It was really good. I'd never heard it either, but it screams to what a lot of people do, and myself included. It's like that's a day we're not dieting on that day, we're not worried about carbs or anything else. We're just gonna throw our stretchy pants on and be with family and eat as much as we can and have fun and we don't give enough credit to the food on Thanksgiving. And I know we say we're thankful for this bounteous, the blessings and the harvest and all of that kind of stuff, but man, we get to eat a lot of good food that day, and probably food we don't eat all through the year. And so it's always a good time for me. I like food uh, for sure. Now Carrie Underwood, I like Carrie Underwood, and I know a good handful or a dozen of her songs or so. But it shocked me that this was her because I was thinking country songs, and I was thinking it was going to be something like that, and it didn't feel country at all. It just felt like it is stretchy pants.
Like a Weird Al Yankovic, like a
Yeah.
country Al Yankovic.
Well, after I put on the streak from 1974, I guess all things were open for that.
Right.
So at this point, we're 6 songs in. We've got a few to go. I start thinking about what else I'm thankful for. And I've played a lot of Dan Fogelberg. I think it's probably one of my most used artists. I think 7 times I put on Dan Fogelberg songs because I love his music. But never have I put on probably his most popular song, or one of his most popular songs. But this was a perfect place to put that on. And everyone maybe knows it, but Leader of the Band by Dan Fogelberg. He even talks about the song, the lyrics, when he wrote the song, and he gives credit to his father for raising him and for teaching him and building him up. And he says, I don't know that I can live up to the living legacy that is the Leader of the Band, and I feel that way all the time when I think about my father. And I mentioned that my father passed away a few years ago and lived a full life. He was in his early 90s, but everything I am and everything I do and everything that I have become, yes, I thank my God above, but I think it's my dad more than anything, because of the example he was, the role model he was, the hero that he was to me. So every Thanksgiving now is so much more powerful because I think back on all the things he did for me, and this song really epitomizes that. Every time I hear the song, I sing it. I know all the lyrics to it, and it just connects me with my father every time. Every time I hear it, every time I listen to it, every time I sing it, I think of my dad. And it is probably, again, one of the most important things that I'm thankful for. So hopefully you all had a similar connection with the song.
Well, I'll go. Okay. Yeah, I was. So it's the same. Same with me. I mean, I lost my dad a few years ago, and that was tough. In all honesty, there were times in our lives that, I wouldn't say estranged, but we were distance apart. My parents separated when I was relatively young, and but as I got older, I was blessed to be able to get back closer and have many, many years. But even at that distance during those times, he loomed large in my life. It's like I was, he ran a restaurant for, you may know this one, Mr. Colorado, Casa Bonita. He ran one in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And he was just like, I thought he was the king of that place. It was awesome. And I will, my mom too, parents in general, but my mom too, she's been a great influence in my life, and she's, she's getting older, and we're starting to deal with some of that, but we're so lucky to have her and really taking advantage of this time. And I just have so many memories of the way she took care of my brother and I, and was there for us.
Right. It's, first, the song is obviously a classic. No, I'm like Mike in the sense that our dad, they divorced early, so we didn't have, the same experience. Mine's more so to Mike than to Dave. And so it's been up and down. It's always been, like Mike says, it's, you have your moments, and then they're, fleeting, and then you have your moments. And so now he's still around. He had a medical emergency the other day, so but he's doing okay. So, but yeah, I know why Dave picks this song. I know your dad, he'd be proud of you for sure. You have your own leader of the pack, and he would be. So let's move on.
Well,
Yes,
and I did, yeah, I hear you. I did move to, this is now we're just talking about things we're thankful for, and they're maybe not all grouped together. I went to music because music has always been, I played a little music, still have a guitar, but, never really seriously followed it up. But music has always been a huge part of my life. I can't imagine it not being, and I haven't said that it's Stevie Wonder is the song. I Gotta Have a Song. Oh,
stop you for a minute, Mike.
Yes.
We
No,
love music, but we're not there yet.
we're not even close to that, are we?
No, we're almost
Okay.
done, but
We're
we're
getting
on.
there.
Take two.
It's okay. You good?
You,
Take two.
you
I'm
get
not
to
gonna
edit
edit
it
this
out.
out.
So
No, I'll leave it in.
No, keep it in. We love you, Mike. We love you.
Right.
you're in charge of the editing.
I gotta have a memory is what I need. I gotta have a brain. Yeah, so okay. Well, let's start that over. Yeah, well, family. My my wife is central to my life. My kids, of course, but I picked James Taylor, Something in the Way She Moves, which is kind of, we have certain songs that are kind of our songs, and that's one of them. We got to see him perform this song in, I don't know, the mid 2000s, somewhere in there, between 2000, 2010, and amazing concert. But he talked about this song, and I'll get back to my wife part in a second. But he was saying, you may notice this is a very similar title to a Beatles song. In fact, the first line is the exact same. And the story that he told was he was trying out, people may not know this, but his first record label, I believe his first, was Apple Music, Apple label, and he was one of their bands that they hired, and this song was his tryout song. And apparently George Harrison heard the line and wrote his something from it. And James Taylor says he doesn't resent it or anything. He doesn't care. And he also pointed out, he ends, the last line is, "And I Felt Fine," which is also a Beatles song that, so anyway, it's a great song. This is a 1974 remake, which I think is a little bit better than the original. It's a little slicker, I guess, but it's, yeah, for me, this is my wife, just listen to the song. She means the world to me. I'm very thankful.
Well, anytime you can follow Dan Fogelberg with James Taylor, be my guest. They always seem to complement each other very well. And I'll talk more about my wife when I get to my song. But yeah, you're right. It's a great love song, to connect you to the person you love, and he does a great job of weaving that melody with the lyric of it. And yeah, I'm a big James Taylor fan, so keep playing more of that. And um, yeah, I'll talk more about my wife and how I'm grateful for her when I get to my next song.
Okay, well, here comes that awkward stage of the part because I don't have a significant other at this point. Now, having said that, I can fully understand where these songs come from, believe me. And it's just a beautiful song. And of course, y'all should be very proud of your wives. They take care of you. I know you guys. I know both of y'all. They take care of you. You should be thankful for both of them because you guys are a handful. I know it. I know you are. So
True.
and so that leaked by song, which was where resonates with me the most, just I'm Alive by Willie Nelson. Found this song on there. And all it is, it's pretty straightforward. He's just happy to be alive. You know, we all have our ups and downs. We all have our roller coaster ride through life. But at this point, like he says in the song, glad to be alive and well. And to me, that's working for me at this, breathing in and out every day, I've obviously been through a lot in the last year and a half, 2 years. But I'm happy, I'm happy that I'm alive. I'm thankful that I'm alive. I'm thankful I have y'all as friends and my son and everything that goes with it. So I thought this song really was fantastic. And I was even like, man, you and I enjoyed playing it a lot. So
Yeah, I have never heard this song, and it's odd to say this because there's so many great songs, but this is definitely my favorite on here of the songs I haven't heard before. It's such a good song. I mean, the arrangements. If he was a little bit younger, his voice was stronger, Willie's, and but yeah, the sentiment is great. It's when there's a thing you do in recovery where every night you're supposed to do a list of gratefuls. I work them into a prayer. You do 10 a day, 10 a day, 10 a day. And the whole point of that, and you're never supposed to repeat. At some point, you get to things that you wouldn't think of being grateful for, or just simple things like being alive. You could start out with, I'm grateful for my family, my dog, whatever. But at some point, you get to that. And that's what it all boils down to. I'm grateful for all these things. And they rest on top of, we get the honor of and the blessing of being alive when a lot of people I know my age are no longer, so appreciate it, Jose.
Willie Nelson, I mean, he's got to have probably a catalog of what, 1,000 songs. I mean, he's like Bob Dylan, right? He's probably one of the most prolific singer-songwriters of all time, given that his age and how many records he's produced have been put out over the years. Yeah, I'm not familiar with it either. We probably need to do a Willie Nelson, only kind of playlist or something. But this song, I think I agree with you, Mike, is probably one of my favorites I'd never heard on this, and because he says I'm alive, but at the end of every phrase it says I'm alive and well. He should totally sing this song for something because he just had his 90th birthday, and this would be a perfect song for him to sing now, not back when the day when he was younger. Now you say I'm alive and well. I've made it through all of these hard times and everything, and so yeah, I liked it. Appreciated that you put that on. We get those gems every now and then where we go, wow, where'd that one come from? This is one of those. If you get a chance, our listeners, if you get a chance to go listen to the playlist. If you don't want to listen to all the other ones or the sappy ones before, just get to this song. This is a good one.
I think the next was
Dave,
Oh,
right?
that's
In
me.
This Life.
So the next one was In This Life, I put this song on it. This, I think, is the second time I've used a Colin Ray song. He's kind of gospel, kind of country, is what he does. But this song, I don't know, every time I hear it, I feel like such an important, when I think about my wife and, the lyrics of the song, in this life, I was loved by you. So it's not just me saying, I love you. The blessing and the Thanksgiving part is that in this life, she loved me, and we all need that. We all need somebody to love us. And anyway, it's a beautiful song. I like the the message of it, and did find out when I was researching or looking at this that the songwriter for the song were two people, but one of them was Mike Reed, and I've listened to some other Mike Reed. He was a former NFL football player, played for the Cincinnati Bengals, and then became kind of a country gospel artist, and wrote a couple of songs. His probably his most famous song is called "Walk on Faith," if you're familiar with that. But I'll have to put that on a playlist coming up sometime. Great artist, but the fact that he wrote this song too, I didn't know that. But just a beautiful song. And again, when I hear it, I think of my wife and how grateful and thankful I am to have her.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And I have to echo something Jose said, is that was I'm probably still alive here today because of my wife. That woman, not only here, but I have a job. I'm sane. I don't live in squalor like I did in college. Just number of things. She also, I think, she's right a lot of the time. And once I learned to accept that, I realized how rich my life was. So yeah, I appreciate the song.
You want to talk about the song again? Awkward silence. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Again, y'all are very blessed, and y'all should be. And like I said, I know what it's like to be married. Obviously, I was married for 28 years, and you have to have that partnership, and you have to have that unconditional support. And I know both of y'all have it. I've talked to Rachel obviously earlier than I've talked to Sheila, but I know you guys. I've done. All you have to do is look at your kids and look at your family and see that y'all have excelled, and you have to do it with your partner. It doesn't take just one of you to do it. It takes both of y'all. It takes a lot, and extremely a lot. Whether you have 2, 8, 7, 17 kids, it takes both of y'all. So I applaud y'all. But and it's a fantastic song. Like I said, I think Dave brought a lot of the gospel, the spiritual, which is again part of Thanksgiving. It shouldn't be forgotten. Stretchy pants should not overtake Thanksgiving. So yeah, some great songs.
Yeah, I agree. So now I'd like to talk about music. I was going to talk about it earlier, but now we'll talk about it now. So the song was Stevie Wonder. Gotta have a song. I'll take a little bit different approach into this. It starts, if you listen to the song, it's a song about he's at the end of a relationship. He's been left by somebody and he's just devastated. And so listening to that, you're like, really, is this a Thanksgiving song? Is this about something I'm thankful for? But then he goes on to say, show me to where there's music. I got to have music to go on. And, I know I can't speak for you guys, but I know for me, it is really a big part of my life. And there've been really tough times where it felt like that's what I had. I had the songs I love, and they might, hearing a song about being in a miserable place and hearing somebody going through the same thing, it can be a little cathartic, a little reinforcing. So, and obviously we're into music because look what we're doing here. Not much. I could go on and on about that, but music is just such a important thing to me. I'm very thankful that it's in my life.
I thought of a lot of things that I was grateful for or whatever, and when I was preparing for this, but music is such a powerful thing and such an important role in my life, and I'm so grateful for it. That it's cool that there's a song that actually says that. That I gotta have the music. I gotta have a song, and I go to music. It's a resiliency thing for me. People have their go-to, whatever that might be. They have their things that when they're stressed or when you need a pick-me-up or when whatever it is. And for me, one of the primary things I have is music. And if I'm not in a great mood or I need to be going a different direction, whatever it is, I'll use music to do that for me. And it will pull me out. Even if I'm sad, and I have to listen to a sad song, that's okay too, because then it allows me to get it out of my system, allows me to pour it out. Go ahead, cry a little bit. Okay, now we're moving on. Now let me put on some Rush and get going, or whatever else I'm going to put on, and to motivate me to keep moving. And so I thought it was cool that you mentioned that, and then even Jose on the next song does the same thing. I hadn't thought about finding a song that talks about being thankful and grateful for music, but there are songs out there about that. So I applaud you for putting that on there. But yeah, music is definitely a go-to for me, and I'm grateful and thankful. In fact, sometimes I even think to myself, what would a day without music be like?
Don't even say that.
No, I know, and I don't want to get like weird either, but like, okay, so if I mean, all of our senses are important to us, and we wouldn't want to lose any of them. And I would not want to say, yeah, you know what, I'd rather just be blind. No, that's a hard thing to do. But I can't imagine if I lost my hearing and couldn't hear the music or the songs, how hurtful that would be. But then I start thinking, well, maybe that wouldn't be it at all, because for 59 years I've listened to music, and you can never take that out of your head. So even though I can't hear the next song or a new song, I've got a catalog in my head and my heart that will never go away. So anyway, just
Yeah. No, I was glad when we were doing this again initially, it was like, what are you thankful for? And obviously, first of all, I wanted to kind of surprise you guys because you guys give me a hard time. But I was so happy when Mike, who has been on the same wavelength, put this song on right before mine, because I didn't know where I was going to put my song, Thank You for the Music by ABBA. So when Mike comes in with this Stevie Wonder song, man, right follows right perfectly. And it's about music, and both the songs are about for the love of music. And obviously music, I mean, we can't say enough, plays an important role. I mean, we do this podcast because of music. We're pretty much friends primarily, not because of music, but it's a byproduct. We love music. It's part of our lives. I don't go anywhere. I go to concerts. It's music is what we love. And so I couldn't think of being thankful for not having music, and because it plays such a vital role in a lot of different ways. And especially with our friendship, it brought us, the music brought us back again together. So no way. Plus, I put on ABBA because I know you guys give me a hard time, and I wanted to show you guys
after we got chastised for it. Come on.
that I too can be flexible. I too can show you that yes, I can listen to that. And I admit it's a fun song and it's a great song, and it resonates. Yeah, she's singing it from her perspective, but even I did in my research, the guy wrote it because for the love of music. She sings the lyrics, but it's about just the love of music. So I thought it fit. I credit Mike for being on the same wavelength as me with the Stevie Wonder song, which is just a fabulous song, and then leading right into mine. So
yeah, I won't criticize that song. I like that song. I like a large number of the ABBA songs. There's some we won't talk about, but Yeah, a large number. I like several. And that's a good one. I had forgotten about that one. It when I would put on ABBA, when I have put on ABBA, it usually kind of falls off my radar, and I appreciate the reminder. And you said a couple of things. Well, as far as our friendship, I think not only rekindling our friendship, I think, at least as far as I'm concerned with you guys, the original beginning of our friendship was based on music. Jose and I working together in the newsroom at the Richland Chronicle, and you were always playing, your mixtapes, probably some you guys did before I was, before I had heard of you, Dave, or at least seen you. And so, that was kind of like, okay, this guy I can talk to about this. This is when I worked in a newsroom at the Waco Tribune Herald. It's like I got along so great with the sports guys because I'm not necessarily, they sat right behind me, their backs were to me. And so I'm not necessarily a huge sports guy, but they love music. And so we had that in common. And kind of going a little bit further with one of your points, just real quick, it's everywhere. It's part of everything we do. For many people, getting married, at funerals, memorial services, all the way through. You can't go anywhere without hearing music. Apparently right now it's already Christmas music at stores, but yeah, it's everything. And I agree with you about it's in my head. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse, but music, we have it. So, yeah.
Well, it just shows you that, like I said, we're all connected by music, and that I wasn't shocked necessarily, but when Jose put it on, I got excited. I kind of jumped up, and I think I'd mentioned in a previous podcast that me and my youngest daughter, she's a big ABBA fan, and so I took her to one of these ABBA tribute concerts here in town, and it was they, for all intents and purposes, it looked like you were at an ABBA concert. We had a lot of fun, and I think they played this song. I'm pretty sure they did, and it was kind of fun. And it's got that whole theatrical vibe to the song, and I like it a lot. And so I was surprised when, again, when Mike did the Stevie Wonder, and then you followed it with ABBA. Unfortunately, I didn't have another song in my arsenal ready to go for talking about music. So at that point, I had to kind of go, what else am I thankful for? And I was down to a couple of choices, probably three choices. I had children. So I was going to maybe do a song about my kids or my family. I actually had a song, Thank God for Kids by the Oak Ridge Boys, which I was going to use. Decided not to do that one. And then I thought, well, I've got my brother, and I'm really thankful for my brother and my sisters too. Don't get me wrong, and my mom. I didn't mention that too, but I thought, okay, well, maybe a song maybe about my brother. And then the third one was I was trying to kind of come up with a song for my friends, for you two. So I thought of a little help from my friends or something like that, or there's some other songs that talk about friendship in it. And what I decided was to combine the two. And I said, you know what? I've been wanting to put on this song. So I chose He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother by the Hollies, which really talks a lot about a lot of different people that we care about. But for me, brother means my actual brother, but it also means my friends. Mike and Jose are my brothers too. And so I thought this song kind of does that. Now, again, the road is long and it's a hard road, and but we need to help each other and carry each other and lift each other's burdens and do what we can to help each other down that road. We're not getting any younger. We're all three of us are going to hit 60 here this next year, and so it's a poignant reminder of that journey that we have. But we're not on this journey alone. We're on it together. And again, you guys aren't heavy. You're my brothers, and even my own brother, Kenny. I don't know where I'd be without the things he's done for me over the years, and I just love him so much. And I love you guys.
Well, same here. Love you too, both you guys. I will, well, just, I have 3 brothers and a sister, and I love them all, and they mean everything to me. We went through a lot together, but on the friendship, I think we kind of, with these last 3 songs, that's kind of where we went, and I think it's a great way to end this particular playlist. And this song, it's a Hollies song, which I always thought of them as more, kind of, oh, that one about the umbrella, what way, bus stop, and what now? Did I get the wrong route?
Yeah, no, that's right.
Bus stop,
But I mean, like,
Carrie Ann,
Carrie Ann, carousel, or whatever.
Harrison.
Kind of, I always thought of those as kind of, a little more poppy. And this one is definitely, it's poignant, and it is really kind of sad thing to it. But the whole point of it is, through that, you've got a friend, which we didn't use on this, but it's the same kind of message. It's like, I'm there for you. And that's all I can say about that. You guys are great friends. Friends don't always last, and some people, you think your friend or your friends early on, you realize, once the partying ends, or once you're not doing this or that, they move on. But the ones that stick around are the ones that really are true friends. So great song.
Wow. I hate both you guys because you made me put on ABBA. Not just kidding. Now, this song, for us, and I'm sure y'all will agree to a certain extent, this song almost became a punchline after a while, because it was played, wasn't it played during the Jerry Lewis
Yes.
Muscular, right? It was played during that, and so it was played often, and so sometimes the joke would be, "Oh, he ain't heavy," and people would use it as a punchline, even though it's obviously such a poignant song, But we tended to, if you grew up in the '70s, especially in the '80s, it became kind of a, I wouldn't say but a punchline. It became sort of punchline, but it when you hear it again, because of course I don't play this hardly play it. When you hear it off in the distance, you realize how poignant this song really is, and of course hits all the attributes of what it is to be, be there for your brother, be there for your friends. My brothers are always there for me, so it's a very poignant song, even though it became kind of that, oh, you ain't know, you joke about it. And a little to Mike, and Mike will talk about his Lean on Me with Bill Withers became kind of like that because of the movie and stuff like that. But Mike, you can talk about that.
Yeah, I thought this wasn't my initial choice for this spot, but I had it on my list, and I'm like, what else can I put on after that last song? It's like, that's what we are. You could say friends, or we have fun together, sure. We have common experiences, but when it really counts is when the chips are down and you're struggling. And you guys know I've had some struggles, and I'm sure you guys have. I know a little bit about them. And it's also when you're not at your best. You've seen a little bit of that of me. I am moments I'm not proud of, but you're here, and I leaned on you guys for sure during those times. And yeah, so now I'm getting all teary-eyed. This song, I remember when I was a kid being on the radio, Bill Withers, Lean on Me. And yeah, it was a movie. I don't think I saw that movie.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Now I'll have to check it out. When you said that, I'm thinking Stand By Me, the Stephen King thing, but no, that's a different song.
That's a whole different.
That's a cool one too. That would have been a good one to go right in this group here. But yeah, those two, all 3 of the songs we're going to talk about, but go so well together, like you said. But something I forgot to mention about He Ain't Heavy Is My Brother, where I said I researched a little bit. Elton John was a session musician in '69 and played the piano part. Wow, really? That was pretty cool. And it peaked at number 7 on the US charts. And Lean on Me in 1972 peaked at number 7 too. So both were similar chart toppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So we were on Lean On. So I was talking. So were you finished with Lean On Me?
I was.
Okay, so
Yeah. So
well,
what you
again, I
got,
like.
Jose? Tell us about your song.
Oh, another one, which again I discovered, Count on Me, Bruno Mars. We all know, well, I don't know if we've all heard Bruno Mars's name, let's put it that way, in the last. I'm sure none of us has run out to Bruno Mars, but he did do the Super Bowl halftime show at one point, I'm sure. But yeah, he's one of those newer guys that obviously is hit it big, was popular. I don't listen to his music. I can understand it, why people like it. It's catchy. But I found this song, in doing our thing again, not trying to stay in the same box or stay in the same lane, but find something different. I found on this, and it's a nice little small song. I thought the first time I heard it, I was like, man, I like this song a lot, and it really goes well, and it kind of encapsulates all that we have. Count on Me, you know, uh, he, if you're out in the sea, count on me. All the little variations where you count on your friends and your family, and I thought this was a great way to kind of wrap it up.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't know this song either. And, it's another good one for this to wrap it up on this topic. This thing we're thankful for, our friendship, but also just Bruno Mars. I would never have really listened to his music, but my daughter and my wife kind of introduced me to it, and it's still kind of a taste I'm acquiring. But I will credit him with this. A lot of his stuff is inspired by things that came before. Like you can hear some Marvin Gaye in some places, and that soul stuff, and maybe some more of the Stax records, and a lot of that kind of stuff. And so it's really nice to hear that carried on. Some other musicians do that too, but it's not everything he does. But I like it. And I will give him more of a chance.
I think I don't know how you guys do it, but yeah, again, the three songs were good, but Lean on Me, Count on Me. I mean, that's playlist um, greatness on that. Just coming up with those two, and I know I had heard this song. I'd heard it a few times. Like Mike said, I was probably introduced to Bruno Mars through my kids, listening to some of their music, but. So I know I had heard this song, but I hadn't heard it in a long time. And yeah, it's got a great, I like the folk part of it. It looks kind of a tropical beat to it as well. You can count on me, 1, 2, 3. You can count on you, like 4, 3, 2. I mean, it's got a catchy thing to it. And but it gets a great way to close the playlist. All three of those songs, talking about friends and brothers and helping each other, and all of that is just a great way to close a Thanksgiving playlist. I thought you guys did a great job putting this one together. It's going to be a timeless classic for me. I keep saying that, but they all are, and they're ones where months from now, or even this time next year, we're going to be pulling out these playlists and going, yeah, remember that Thanksgiving 2024 playlist. And that's kind of what it's all about, is building memories and continuing to build our friendship through the love of music, for sure. Any other thoughts or anything else that you thought about this time of year, or that wanted to get on the playlist but didn't?
I could have used another couple of songs because I wanted to do my kids too, because they are such a part of, when the kids come along, it's like you thought you kind of, well, I thought I was kind of like, well, this is it. And it's just like this whole other, part of my life that now, I could just go on and on. But I couldn't find one song really that I was happy. So I had one for my son and one for my daughter, and I love both the songs, but I wasn't gonna take up that much time, this precious real estate here. So just if my kids ever look at this, I love you guys.
Now I know you're right. There are songs, and even father to son songs. There really isn't that many that kind of, they talk about different things, or but none that really resonated with me. There's Father to Son by Queen, and George Strait has his song about a fatherhood, but none of them really kind of clicked. But I thought overall the whole playlist really clicked well. Like Dave said, we always come in with this, especially with this skeptic, like this is never going to work. This isn't going to happen. Especially when Dave's like, let's do about Thanksgiving. Oh no, thankful. Although at the very end, let's do it. And so of course you're like, but we trust the process and it always comes out. So, that's something we should definitely be thankful for.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, until next time, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to everybody, and look forward to our next selection. We're not sure what that's going to be yet, but I know it's I'll throw a teaser out there. Yeah. Look for it. We're going to do another one before the end of the year. Maybe talked about maybe another tribute to those artists and musicians who passed away in 2024, something like that. So, or another Christmas one as well, maybe Christmas 2.
Or something even different, because I think we have 3, which I've already got I'll
There
tell
you go.
y'all after we stop.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Happy
Well, Merry Christmas. But until then, happy Thanksgiving. Just thought I'd leave with a laugh. Leave them laughing.